Hello, this is Kawena Charlot, the director of the Intuitive Path Academy. And today I wanted to just put out a video on psychic attacks. There's been a large uptick of these lately, and I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in a little bit on what was going on with that and what was happening with that. And also, I noticed something today that was just a little. I mean, I don't usually come to you guys with like, oh, this is disturbing, or I try not to anyway. But this, I felt like if anybody's listening out there from a larger company, like $5 to $8 million company, it just looked like those guys were getting kind of hit hard at the moment. And uh, I just thought there's light at the end of the tunnel. You can manage this stuff. It doesn't need to take you out. I know because I have had much of this aimed at me over the last, I don't know, 5 years and have learned how to manage it. So the benefit of having this is you get to learn how to really manage your system and deal with this stuff. It's not fun at the beginning, but once you learn how to do it, it's like, oh, this is totally manageable. But you know, there are there's a group of people trying to kind of, I don't know, get market share over large business at the moment. And so they're kind of trying to take out who they consider the small guys, which are the $5 to $8, $10 million companies at the moment. And so, you know, if it's just about kind of controlling society and controlling mankind, and that's usually what psychic attack is all about, right? So I say psychic and it makes it sound like it's just towards psychics or just psychics doing this, and that's not really true. We live in that's the term they use for this, but we live in a multi-dimensional world, right? And in this multi-dimensional world, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of spirits, people with bodies, people without bodies, lots of different kinds of entities, and all of this mishmash of stuff, all of this whole different kind of group, this soup of different beings has different intentions. Some are good, some are bad, some we like, some we don't like, some want to take over the planet, some just want to take over your neighborhood, some want to take over your mind, some just want to hang out and have a beer with you and watch crappy movies because they don't want to go to the other side. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds of beings out there, right? Some are angels, some are gods, some are, there's a whole bunch of different stuff, right? And sometimes lots of those, just like with people, lots of different people have different goals and different aspirations and different intentions for you or their family or a whole massive set of society, right? So same thing with these beings. So when there's something called a psychic attack, it just basically means that some person or group of people or group of entities or whatever is trying to influence the energetic field of another person or another group of people. So that's basically what a psychic attack is. So now how does that feel when you're being psychically attacked, right? What is that like? So basically what it looks like is usually where, say if you're usually kind of in an equilibrium and you're usually, oh, I'm pretty happy and I get a lot of stuff done and whatever. That's kind of your usual baseline. Suddenly when if you're under a psychic attack, now this can happen if you're tired or going through stress in your own life too. So just because that's happening doesn't mean you're psychically attacked. But when you're being psychically attacked, and again, that's just the term people use for this, it can look like a similar thing. It looks like your energy suddenly tanks. So you can feel tired, you can feel exhausted, you can feel really down on yourself, like you're just suddenly your critical thinking skills get a little focused towards yourself on negative thinking, like your inner critic just goes wild, and you and a lot of times, depending on what they're trying to influence you, they can kind of get you to focus in on the direction that they want you to be influenced. So for example, these bigger businesses that they're aiming for at the moment, they're trying to get them to sell, right? So they're like, sell, go out of business, do this, do that. And it's not really in the best interest of those people, possibly, or maybe it is, I don't know, but they're kind of aiming for that, right? So so they're trying to influence the people on a kind of a mental level, so they can kind of almost put thoughts in people's heads. So one of the ways you know if you're being psychically attacked, if it's a thought that's completely out of alignment with who you are or how you feel or what you really think of, and you're getting that thought put in your mind, then there's an influence going on, right? I mean, one of the ways you can tell is if a foreign entity alive or dead, doesn't matter, is trying to influence you. A lot of times they say you, right? So you have to be a pretty clever programmer to say I. So it'll be like, you should sell the business. You are a pathetic piece of crap. You are blah, 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 right? You are a loser and you don't deserve anything and you blah, blah, blah. So if there's a you coming at you, chances are that's not you, right? Who sits around and speaks about themselves in the second person? Not a lot of people. So usually if it's you, and not that you don't have your own crappy thoughts about your own life all the time too, right? But usually it's like, I'm a suck, I'm this, I'm that. That's usually what people are doing for themselves. So programmers a lot of times will just say you. So that's one kind of way you can tell if something's an outside influence. But another is if you're like, I was fine and now I'm just angry, or now, if it feels out of alignment, then chances are you're being influenced. So tired, exhausted, super emotional, out of alignment. You are getting feel like you're having these urges to do things you don't normally want to do. Like, I just want to chuck it all and get rid of it, or I want to just get out of this, or, just these things like, oh, I worked on this area for a long time and now all of a sudden I just want to give up. A lot of times that can be an influence. Sometimes, it can even like sexual stuff, like I don't usually have these thoughts, but now I am, those kind of things can sometimes be, that can be an influence. Depleted, depressed. Sometimes when you're stuck in a loop, that can be kind of a sign of being psychically attacked. Also, sometimes when you have body aches and pains, or, again, people have body aches and pains, but sometimes that can be a sign that your energetic system is off in certain areas and being kind of influenced. And there's a way you can get out of this. It doesn't mean like, oh, this is it, I forever don't get, you don't have to be a drama queen about it. Be like, oh, I'm stuck. There's no end to this. No, there's plenty of ways to get out of this. Learning how to manage your energetic field is great. I teach that, but that's not necessarily what this video is all about. But there are ways to get out of it. Mainly, you can even, call someone who really understands energy, and you mostly just have to get your energy flowing. And, once you have a recognition of what's going on, once you have an awareness, it's 9/10 of it, right? So if you go, I can be influenced with my mind. So so you could just question, like, is this really my thought? Is this really coming from me? Because if it's super out of alignment, don't listen to it. It's not, you're gonna go, wait, I don't usually think like that. You know what? Maybe this is being influenced. And then once you recognize that that's a possibility, then you can discard it. Right. But the way to get out of this is mostly just moving your energy and kind of getting back in alignment, finding your passion, maybe taking, it's like, don't follow, don't make any big decisions in that state. Don't give into it. Cause that's like having a bully kind of say, oh, get out of my school, or don't be friends with so-and-so, or, just sit in the back of the class. Like, who wants to listen to the bullies? These are rude people playing rude games for rude reasons. Well, not even rude reasons, beyond rude reasons, for just nefarious reasons. And you don't need to play their game. Just kind of be like, oh, okay, I understand that. This is just some energy coming at me. People are trying to control me on a different level. And that's how desperate they are, right? That they're resorting to those kind of games. Like usually in the olden days, they just resorted to those games because they, people have played this game for millennia, thousands of years, right? Hundreds of thousands of years, people have played with, you try to use energy to manipulate other people and get them to do stuff. Now they're doing it on a massive scale. So that's the world we're living in at the moment. But you don't need to listen to it. You don't need to fall for it. You don't need to do anything. You can call somebody, call me, call whoever, somebody who you think is really good. Don't ever fall for somebody who says, oh, you're being cursed and give me $5,000. No, nothing like that. Hourly rates, like, and person should do the best that they can during an hourly rate. You can get entities off of you. You can get aliens. You can get any of that stuff off of you with it. A good, talented person can get that off of you in a nice hourly rate. Sometimes maybe it takes 2 hours or 3 hours, but don't fall for the give me $5,000 and you've been cursed, that kind of nonsense. But anyway, back to the psychic attack. So that's what a psychic attack can look like. Why do they do this? Well, why does anybody want to manipulate somebody else, right? They might want market share. They might want, on the low end, it's like, I want to be the big shot in town and I want to get you out of business. right? So I've had somebody in town doing that to me for a couple of years, whatever. They're usually low vibrational people, and they're gonna there's no point in getting to a whole thing with them because they're going to get their karma at the end of the day. This isn't your business, whatever. You just keep your eye on your goal, your desire, all of that. So they could be anything from that to like, I want to have a big influence on humanity, and I need to be the only big business in town. Or so that's what I was seeing with them attacking kind of the $5 to $8 million people. I doubt there's anybody like that on my list, but just in case, I thought I would throw this out there. And then another group of people that, but right now I'm seeing psychic attack on an unprecedented level. It used to be really aimed at small groups, or people that could really have a big influence in the world, or healers or teachers that were really having a big impact, right? So a lot of times when people are trying to sway society or keep people in a state of fear, then they're going to go after the people that are teaching people how to manage with their state of fear, right? Because it's very easy to control people when they're in fear. That's how the game is played, right? So you want to get people out of fear. Oh, then the people that want to keep people in fear are going to try to influence that person that's trying to create positivity, and to going out of business, get them into an ego state where they kind of go to the dark side or the egomaniacal side or whatever. So that's just kind of how that influence works. But lately I've seen them trying to influence the state of parents that just love their kids and want to protect them, or just a lot of large swaths of society, trying to sow a lot of confusion and division and whatnot. So anyway, so it's mostly about influence. It's about peddling influence and trying to funnel the people or the world or whatever into the direction that they want it to go. So that is the reason that people do this. But again, you can get out of it. It's once you see the game for what it is, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to get, oh my God, it's the end. No. It's nothing like that. You just get your energy flowing and recognize the game, and kind of replenish yourself. And, even better, if you really want to deal with it, again, and this is what I do. So yes, I'm talking about what I do, but on the other hand, this is part of the reason I do it. Like, it makes a huge difference. So learning about your energetic system and learning how to release foreign energy and learning what's your energy and other energy and all of that, learning what's really your thoughts in your mind and not in other people's thoughts. And, that does wonders. But even if you're not interested in learning it for yourself, you can go to a person that knows what they're doing, and they can help you with that situation. And the good news with most of what's happening right now, if it's aimed towards, like, I've seen that people, aiming stuff at parents, at I mean, just across the board, political opponents, businesses, healers, teachers, lots of anybody, again, anybody trying to uplift. This is a big spiritual moment, guys. This is just a huge, huge, huge spiritual moment. And this is a chance for people to sort of gather their courage and stand up and say no, and kind of recognize this energy for what it is and learn how to manage it. Learn that it's not them. Learn that they don't need to be influenced by it. So that's in a large part what right now is all about. And the reason I kind of felt like I needed to say something, because yes, it's been going on for 2 years, and I don't like to scare people. I don't want to be like, oh, it's scary out there, which it is. But we don't need to go there, right? Like, what you focus on expands. So I'm not into doing this, but just on the off chance, these companies employ a lot of people, and what they do is they not only employ a lot of people, but they create a sort of an oasis that it doesn't necessarily need to be controlled by a certain, there's a certain level of independence. So if enough of those people get taken out, then there's less independence in the country. So, just on the off chance that I could make a difference on any of that, I thought I'd put this out there and say something about that. But if you are feeling that, if you're feeling really out of sorts and just like chucking it all and like, I can't take it anymore, I'm just gonna, throw all my hard work away, then please, please, please don't make a decision in that state. You don't need to do that. Don't make a decision when you're there. Just find somebody who knows what they're doing and get them to kind of clean out your energetic system. And that really frankly goes for everybody. It's been a hard couple of years. There's been a lot of stress. There's been a lot of manipulation. There's been a lot of games. There's a lot of people that are trying to figure out what's reality and what's not reality. Some people have woken up, some people haven't, whatever. There's a lot of games being played right now. Within all of that, people are exhausted and they're tired and they're hurt. And, a lot of people have had a lot of changes and a lot of shifts, and that takes a lot of energy. So within all of that, people have hit like that exhaustion level. And it's very easy to chuck it and to manipulate people when they're in that state. So if you're feeling like chucking it, just replenish yourself, like find some way to replenish yourself, whether it's me or somebody else. Do that, because you don't whatever your decision, psychic attack or no psychic attack, you never want to make a big decision when you are in a state of exhaustion or fear or in that kind of, I just want to check it all. Wait till you're kind of replenished, calm, clear-headed, and then make your big decisions. Good, just good piece of advice there. Anyway, yeah, I was just gonna put this out there. Hope all is, hope you guys are doing great. That was basically it. That's my video. I hope you guys are doing good. If you guys have any questions or interested in classes or getting readings, you're welcome to check me out. I am at Intuitive. Oh, it's that side. I'm not good at. I can see it on my screen, my little logo, and I'm like, it's over that way. Anyway, I'm at Intuitive Path Academy or KawenaCharlot.com, and all the best, you guys. And just so you know, just for posterity, it's April 20th, 22. Okay, all right. Bye, you guys. All the best.